Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for March 21st, 2020, with your host, PeaceBear2448, and Wrap It Up Salon.
Oi.
I was looking over something real quick.
I was hoping it wasn't Discord again.
No, I was looking over something because, you know, got bills to pay and all this shit going on, so, yeah. I was curious about something, and no, nothing on that end just yet, maybe.
Possibly.
Have I mentioned that job hunting for like 6 months with student loans and not a whole lot of money is very stressful?
Job hunting is very stressful, period.
Very true. And on a ticking clock doesn't help either.
No.
So yeah, folks. Just gonna not talk about that because I've talked about that enough on stream. So, video games. What have you been playing these last couple weeks?
Video games.
Video games.
Honestly, not a whole lot. I mean, I've been playing some CE. Is it weird that, as far as the Master Chief Collection goes, CE actually runs better than Reach?
That almost doesn't surprise me.
It's not anything for it so much as it's a case of I wonder if maybe Reach requires higher specs and my computer's just not wanting to quite match that, because it's not an unplayable state. It's a case of there's visible problems kind of deal.
Yeah, I could believe that.
What's funny though is I've been using the anniversary layout, which actually runs off of Reach's graphics engine, so I don't understand how that happens, but okay.
Very, very carefully. Usually.
One of those I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll take it at that. Also, it may be very possible that I'm not going to be able to monitor the stream. My computer is saying no.
I was wondering if that was you or me.
Also, bitrate just died. Why did bitrate die?
That's not good.
And then exploded.
Hell yeah.
Thanks OBS for dropping to 0 bitrate to then jump up to 10,000 bitrate for like 2 seconds. Just push all the frames at once. But yeah, that I think the only other thing is I've done some Ultramoon. Just kind of keeping on plucking at it.
I have still not touched that.
And I've kind of came up with a new method for trade fodder in home. If I can catch it in Moon and move it up to home, then and I get it in home instead, it's just trade fodder automatically.
I'm trying to just dunk whatever back into home if I end up getting it. Just like, I don't want you, because I got a trappage through home, which was neat. I don't think I've gotten anything else interesting besides more rotoms.
Yeah, no. Kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Rotoms and starters. Like that's the bulk of what home has.
I've got like 2 ninjas on me at the moment.
Also, I did actually know, but this is kind of immensely funny that, the totem Pokemon you can get in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
They're extremely huge.
Yep. Yep. That's kind of their special thing, is that they are huge.
Like, too big for the screen because, they apparently didn't think to, zoom the screen out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I have not done a whole lot besides not stress about stuff, mainly for the last like 2 weeks. What else? Finally being done with Kingdom Hearts 3, including the DLC, is nice. Even though I kind of want to do the limit cut bosses and stuff, but I'm not feeling it at the moment.
I mean, I can see that.
Granted, I never did all the data fights in 2. I think the only one I ever beat was Marluxia, and that's because, his gimmick allows me to not die immediately within like 5 seconds, so. I'll take that. Yeah, I still want to kind of do the limit cut fights because, hey, these are the fun things from this DLC instead of all of the boring stuff from Remind. Yeah, honestly, there's nothing, I think, really. No, I need to get back to like 3 houses and do like the 4th house DLC and like other stuff, but I guess for a little bit on Thursdays is going to be just me doing backlog stuff I got at the moment. Because I don't have anything else for Thursdays right now. So anywho,
probably is for the best.
Yeah.
Just kind of knocking some backlog stuff out.
Yeah. So anywho, shall we talk news? We don't have too much. Because I dropped doing the indie world because apparently there wasn't anything super spectacular outside of, hey, if you played Exit the Gungeon on like Apple Arcade, you can now play it on like Switch. If you liked that sequel spin-off thing for Enter the Gungeon. But otherwise, I don't think there was anything else spectacular from it. It kind of just came and went and it was done. But we are going to talk about the most interesting thing when it comes to consoles and its tech specs.
I was going to say you were so padding that harder than it needs to be.
Yep. Tech specs, because Sony put on their GDC conference thing, their GDC presentation for PlayStation 5, where they talked about tech specs for some amount of time that I stopped watching like 10 minutes in because I was bored.
Where they talked about all of their flops.
Maybe, I don't know if no, yeah, they do have teraflops. I was just like, do they have teraflops? They have teraflops. Good.
That I feel like I still don't fully understand. But, oh well.
I just find the name funny, and I refuse to not laugh every time I hear teraflops. So yeah, because of this, we have the tech specs for the PlayStation 5, and a couple other interesting notes about the PlayStation 5, more or less. So first and foremost, CPU, because we have a comparison here between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. We got 8 cores of Zen 2 cores at 3.5 gigahertz for the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X has 8 cores at 3.8 gigahertz. With 3.66 gigahertz with SMT custom Zen 2 CPU.
So practically the exact same.
More or less. GPU has 10.28 teraflops. Series X has 12. 5 is at a higher gigahertz than Series X. The architecture is the exact same. Memory interface is the exact same except for the bits on it, I guess, because PlayStation 5 is at 256 bits, whereas Series X is at, what, 320? I assume that is...
know if that level is
comparable.
The same.
Yeah. We got memory bandwidth at 448 gigabits per second for PlayStation 5, and Series X has 10 gigabits. Oh, gigabytes. Why did I say bits? Gigabytes per second, and then Series X has 10 gigabytes at 506 gigabytes per second, 6 gigabits at 336 gigabytes per second. Yay! I know the thing that I was listening to Top Down when I was streaming Thursday. The main thing out of these tech specs is just the PlayStation 5 has a setup that allows for almost instantaneous loading.
Which, from the looks of it, the Series X would almost be right there at it.
Apparently, maybe not. Maybe they might be behind on it because of something tech speak. I don't know. I'm not qualified for that.
Well, the only thing would be expandable storage.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because the difference between having an SSD slot and an expansion card would make the bigger change there.
Yeah.
But they both have SSDs, so that's not going to change nothing there.
Yeah. It's just apparently devs are excited about PlayStation 5 and their specs rather than Series X, because it's like, oh, we can like load everything immediately right now. And like just do all this stuff behind the player's back without them noticing. Apparently.
Like, maybe it's because the throughput, but I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's because of the throughput. But yeah, like that's the main thing. And also, to kind of follow up on this, Sony also revealed some backwards compatibility, and it's not the extremely crazy one that people were hoping for, I guess.
So it's not going to be completely backwards compatible?
No, it will not be completely backwards compatible. Again, referring to the podcast I was listening to, because PS3's architecture is nonsense and would be extremely difficult to emulate.
And you know, because they already screwed that up with the PS3 once, let's not do that again?
Yeah.
I mean, just saying.
So it will be backwards compatible to PlayStation 4, and at launch, the top 100 PlayStation 4 games will be compatible in both regular and pro modes. And they will work throughout its life cycle to more or less make every single PlayStation 4 game compatible in some way. So, yay! And also, they'll get like potentially better frame rates and better resolutions and stuff. So they'll get a bit of upscaling.
Except for it's hard to really upscale something that's already in 1080p. So,
Maybe just more stable frame rates is the big catch out of this. So yeah, how are you feeling about PlayStation 5 and Series X?
I'm
kind of with you. Like, I want to know what the fuck's coming on these consoles at launch and in the future. And right now, considering Xbox didn't have much for me outside of, oh, look, a Game Pass thing that might be cool.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Because right now, like, I don't know when Last of Us Part 2 is going to come out, or even if it will come out on PlayStation 4 or 5 at this fucking rate. And that's like the only thing that has me super interested out of like Sony's recent showcase of games.
I feel like neither one of them really have anything going for them at the moment.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to find out at E3. Maybe.
Probably.
Because the actual in-person show of E3 is in the dumpster. It is canceled. Because of, coronavirus stuff. Might not also help that California, the entire state of California, is on like lockdown. So that's not helping either. But that was after this. But we might be seeing an online version of it in June in some capacity.
Maybe.
So,
possibly.
Talks on Giant Bomb that I kind of agree with on this is that there's two ways to look at this going forward with E3. Either the ESA can take a mulligan on E3 this year because of what we've seen about what was going to happen at E3 this year and go, maybe not do this and take another year to plan E3. So next year's could be better. Or if they do get this online thing up and running, that might be how E3 looks going forward.
Maybe.
Because I'll tell you this much. Attendance figures for E3 last year, not good.
I mean, what everyone had to show last year, not good either, but...
Especially in comparison to others. I was trying to find. An article that showed that. Because I know I've seen it, and E3 looked bad compared to other ones.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah. Yeah, E3 was like 66,000, and the other shows were at least triple digits. Or at least 6 digits, not triple digits, 6 digits. Yeah, Gamescom had like 373,000. And bear in mind, that was the show like 3 months later. And those are shows of comparable size and comparable ability to attend. And Tokyo Game Show had 262,000. So, yeah, E3 not looking good. So, I don't know. How do you feel?
I don't know. One of those, I don't know how to take it kind of deal.
Yeah.
It could either be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
I guess it'll just depend on how things go in the future.
Yeah.
And maybe some better news, potentially. GDC, that had to cancel their show already, has rescheduled it for August. Early August. Maybe. They're potentially going to do GDC in August. Which, bear in mind, GDC isn't really a big, like, here are game announcement stuff. It is more of a networking event for the industry. So this kind of coming back is a good thing. Because, industry could use that. Especially a lot of smaller companies.
True.
So yeah, here's hoping that it happens in August. And kind of a last one that is a GameStop adjacent, but not the one you're thinking of. So you remember Reggie, right? Reggie kind of retiring from being president of Nintendo America. So apparently, the GameStop has somehow courted him and a couple other people to be on the board of directors for GameStop come April. Bear in mind, Reggie is not in charge right now. So all of the stupid shit that GameStop's pulled now, that is not Reggie's fault.
Thank God.
Yeah. But alongside Reggie, William Simon, who was CEO of Walmart, and James Smack, who was CEO of PetSmart, are going to be on the board of directors with Reggie in April to maybe make GameStop not go out of business, which sounds like a challenge, to be honest.
Yep.
Because I'm not sure how viable that is at this point.
Especially after the dumb they're pulling.
Oh, yeah. Also, I got a fun story related to GameStop for Canada. So EB Games in Canada is linked to GameStop, but has their own control of stuff and whatnot. They tried to rebrand as GameStop in Canada, and everyone said no hard enough that they had to rebrand back to EB Games.
I mean...
In Canada, mind you.
I mean, who can blame them?
I don't. I'm just like, wow, GameStop is so bad in name that's just like, no, we literally do not want you to be named that. We don't care.
mean,
Yeah,
I can't blame them a bit on that.
yeah, but that's all we really have. There's not a whole lot.
And
You can
so
imagine.
I was fine with going a little longer on the pre-show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a slow few months at this rate.
Like, I'm almost willing to bet that it might get to the point where we have to decide on whether or not we kind of more ditch traditional TGS and more of a sense of we're gonna reverse the order, like have TGS and then do something kind of deal. Because yeah, I feel like this is gonna happen for at least another month or so.
Yeah. Until we get closer to June, this is like May, maybe.
Yeah.
Although, you know how there was a rumor a while back, like a couple weeks ago, that said there was going to be an Indie World one week and then a Direct the next week. And we've got the Indie World, which makes me think that maybe we'll get a Direct next week.
Maybe, but I at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be like, hold your breath for it either.
I mean, we're at least getting a TRG Coliseum Direct next month. For those wondering, John and crew, because all the shit going on, had to cancel their TRG Coliseum 3D event, and they're swapping it out for, instead of an in-person event, it's just going to be an online event, and they will cycle out streamers over the course of 3 days. They don't have a schedule yet.
At least that's a smart idea, though.
Yeah. It's still for charity, it's still for all that, but it will be just not in person. Because all of this bullshit. So anywho, releases?
Releases.
We pick up on the 23rd. Tomorrow, actually. We have a Bug Academy for Switch and Rhythm of the Gods for Switch. Bug Academy, is that what I'm thinking of?
Maybe,
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not. No, it's something else. I thought it was that Paper Mario Bug game.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. What is the name of that? I forgot it.
I can't remember it either right offhand, but no,
it looked
that.
so... I saw so many people play it when it came out, and I'm like, this looks so good! I should put that on the list of things I should get at some point.
Oh, Ty did it here a while back, and I know Author did it too.
More or less everyone in his friend circle did it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of, oh, Ty did it, so everyone he knows does it, because he probably talked to everyone about it.
I can't remember, though, if I saw Smite do it, but I have to assume he did.
I think he did.
I can't remember if I saw him do it or not. Probably, though.
Bug Fables.
Yeah.
It's $20 on Steam at the moment. Anywho, on the 24th, we got Blair Witch for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Bleeding Edge for Xbox One, Color Grid for Switch, Deep Sky Derelict's Definitive Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Hyperspace Delivery Service for Switch, Moons of Madness for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. That's actually a first-person horror game tied into the Secret World. I know that because someone I follow loves Secret World and played this. It's the only reason I know that. We also have Oniken plus Odalis Collection for PlayStation 4, Paper Beast for PlayStation 4, Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York for Switch, and War Tile for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 26th, we have RFL Enhanced Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Borderlands 3, Guns, Love, and Tentacles for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Control, The Foundation for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I assume that's DLC for Control. And DLC for Borderlands 3. We got Down the Rabbit Hole for Oculus.
Actually.
Yeah, we got Down the Rabbit Hole for Oculus Quest. Dream Gallery for Switch. Grand Guilds for Switch. Mechorama for Xbox One and Switch. Necro Worm for Switch. One Step from Eden for Switch. Sin Slayers Enhanced Edition for Switch. The Room VR, A Dark Matter for PlayStation 4. And Trailer Trashers for Switch. On the 27th, we have Children of Zodiarcs for Xbox One and Switch. Gigantosaurus, the game for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Switch. Inops for Xbox One. Lost Worlds Beyond the Page for Stadia. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Railway Empire for Switch. Redout for Switch. And Saints Row 4 Re-Elected for Switch. Actually, this reminds me that someone mentioned that we should get another Battle Ride War game. And I was like, maybe? I don't know. The problem is a lot of Rider games are just meh.
True.
Like, it might just be me who plays more than the one Rider video game all the time. Especially since I've played Hyrule Warriors and Battle Ride War, where I'm like, I would rather play Hyrule Warriors. It feels a lot better than this. Those bike controls don't feel good. I don't know. I just don't expect it to be that good because it won't be on that long of a development cycle. Anywho, we're going to pick up on the 30th with Torchlight 2 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Oh boy. Okay. So we got on the 31st, Boundary for PlayStation 4, Bubble Bobble 4 Friends Collector's Edition for Switch. Cannibal Cuisine for Switch, Shampoo for Switch, Cooking Mama Cookstar for Switch, Donut Country for Switch, Dreamscape for Switch, Driftland the Magic Revival for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Dungeon Defenders Awakened for Switch. Feria for Switch, Fort Triumph for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Ginso Skydrift for PlayStation 4, Gleamlight for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Gorogoa for Switch, Heart of the Woods for Switch. Help Will Come Tomorrow for Switch. Inmost for Switch. Kung Fu Kickball for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Little Dungeon Stories for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Minute of Islands for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Opensia for The Stolen Sun for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Out Buddies for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Persona 5 Royale for PlayStation 4. I really hope I actually get it that day, because I'm not sure.
Also, I want to do a shout out since I see you kind of cleared out the other that I'd put in there. Literally any kind of fill in the blank edition for, because isn't it that one that had like every kind of edition known to man?
Yes, it does.
I more left that in as a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, technically, for those wondering, there's the regular edition of the game. There's a Steelbook edition that is coming out at launch for the same price as regular, which is what I have pre-ordered. Then you more or less have a collector's edition that comes with Joker's mask and a bunch of other stuff, and I think there's one in between the two as well. It more or less just depends on where you pre-order it.
And there's like 5 different versions.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
As I said, I left it in more as a joke.
Yeah. No, I'm just getting the regular Steelbook because I have the Steelbook for Persona 5 because I stumbled onto getting the Persona 5 one, even though I didn't pre-order Persona 5. And just found it on the shelf at GameStop and was like, I'll take this.
So you got immensely lucky, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. And bear in mind, that was a GameStop in Murfreesboro. because I got it at college. Anywho, we have Phoenix Point for Xbox One, Pushy and Pulley and Blockland for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Retromania Wrestling for Xbox One and Switch, Sayonara Wild Hearts for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Shing for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Silver Chains for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, The Complex for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, The Elder Scrolls Online, Hero Storm for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Forgotten City for Xbox One, Wanderer, Frankenstein's Creature for Switch, Tom Clancy's Division 2 for Stadia, Tower of Time for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Switch, Tower Tale for Switch, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger for Switch, Underworld Dreams for Switch, Vampire the Masquerade Courtenaries of New York for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Yakuza Kiwami's 1 and 2 for Xbox One, and Zombie Army Trilogy for Switch. Ugh.
Oh my god, all the releases on one day.
Yes. On April Fool's Day, we have Rock of Ages 3 Make a Break for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, and Totally Reliable Delivery Service for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 2nd of April, we have Mosman, Jekyll and Hyde for Switch, and Rascal Fight for Switch. And on the 3rd, we have Alios Tournament for Switch, and then Resident Evil 3, along with Resident Evil Resistance for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. There's a demo out for that at the moment.
And oddly enough, there's no releases for the day of the next show.
No, surprising enough.
I did that and I'm like, wait a minute, really? Okay, that's weird. Usually there's some random title in there for the day of.
Mm-hmm. So that takes us to quick draws, and do you like Legos?
Kinda, yeah.
Would you like Mario Legos?
Possibly.
Would you like Mario Legos with electronics? So you can play Mario with Legos.
That feels like going a step too far, but maybe in the right direction?
Well, guess what? You can play Mario with Legos, because that's what's coming out soon. Lego Super Mario, real world platforming with an electronic Mario that talks to you and like has a timer on his chest to platform through stuff and hit Goombas and boss fights and piranha plants, and this looks maybe a step too far, to be honest.
To be honest, it sounds like a step too far.
Yep. It looks so weird. Like, I don't mind the look of Mario in Lego, but maybe he could be smaller and in minifigure form.
I so want to see now.
Granted, it's weird to talk about this because a different company has the Pokemon license, I think, for their Lego stuff. For their not Lego Legos. I don't remember who it is, to be honest. Who is it? Not you. That's not it.
Yeah, that feels like a step too far.
Mega Construct, that's who it is. Mega Construct has the license to Pokemon. Because, like, they have all the more or less Pokemon kits that you can build with Legos. Like, they have a kit that lets you build every single evolution along with Eevee.
Oh, God.
And, like,
yeah, I feel like that might just be a step too far.
Yep, and, like, Mewtwo's and Mews and stuff. So yeah, this is happening. This is weird, but okay, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's all I have. Tommy, what is yours?
Well, mine kind of goes out to something that I kind of ran across, and I was like, that actually is kind of neat. So, a fan decided that, since Game Freak kind of dropped the ball and didn't give us Evolutions and Galar when they had the perfect option to do so, they were going to take it upon themselves. I like it. I want.
Yeah. I assume this is Steel type and Dragon type.
Yes. And it actually fits. Like, all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I could have seen this actually even tying into the box art legendaries.
Yeah.
That's what's so weird. It's like this actually feels like they did super drop the ball.
Yeah, because it was
Wivion and Nition, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it is not the first time I've seen someone go, here is evolutions for the other types that we have not gotten yet. But it's like, yeah, there's some of these I would like.
I mean, I feel like they shouldn't just make them for the types, like, from this point on kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a case of, these two types would have fit right in with the story for Sword and Shield, why did we not get something like that? Like, this could have been that little loose tie-in that you could have had. It's almost like maybe Sword and Shield got stifled a little bit because of Let's Go.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because
I was trying to find...
If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm wanting to say Gen 8's actually got the smallest or almost the smallest number of unique Pokemon for it.
It's 81.
And I'm not counting any DLC or added Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to see something because somebody in chat a while back said that, like, most of the returning Pokemon in Sword and Shield were from this region, which made no sense to me because why isn't more Pokemon from the Kalos region, considering, like, where this is relatively supposed to be, and I can't find a percentage, like, spread on that, unfortunately.
I do know when I was going back through doing the filtering, I can't remember which gen, but there was one of the generations that there was a lot of Pokemon that are in the Galar decks, and I'm like, that's odd.
Yeah, because I forgot what it was. Was it Alolan?
I don't think it was Alolan. There's actually a good bit of the Alolan decks missing.
Yeah. There's something. It was something weird, and I'm like, why? Why is it not Kalos? Because
I'm wanting to say it's like Gen 5, maybe?
Yes, it is Gen 5, because someone said Unova had a bunch of Pokemon in this, and I was just like, why Unova? That doesn't make sense because of what the regions are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because Unova is the US region. Specifically, it's like New York and like upper East Coast region, more or less. But Kalos is France and Galar is more or less the UK, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's what it's supposed to kind of target.
Yeah, which it would make sense more if like the UK and France shared a lot of Pokemon, but no, it's Unova, which is like, what? Why? Why does Galar have this whole bunch of importing of Unova Pokemon of all things? That makes no sense. Especially when, like, if you look at the deeper lore of X and Y, Galar might be the region from the war in X and Y? Maybe? Because you have that whole war with another region and like the background lore of X and Y. And Galar might be that region, in all honesty. Granted, it makes too much sense when you look at, oh yeah, that would make sense if you look at history for what these regions are based off of. But I don't think anything in Sun and Moon confirms that. But anyway, yeah. We need more evolutions, to be honest. Evolutions with not dumb evolving methods, to be honest. I could use less dumb niche evolution methods.
You know what? I'm actually wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Because how many Pokemon did you say Gen 8 added?
About 81.
Which is identical to what Gen 7 added, and puts both of them above Gen 6.
They've been adding less and less Pokemon over time.
Well, Gen 6 had 72 added. Both 7 and 8 base, anyhow. Had 81 apiece. Because I'm assuming the number for 7's probably including the added stuff that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon added in.
Which is 5, I think.
I mean, to be fair, it's
it's
enough,
5.
It's enough to potentially put it at higher or lower.
Yeah. And Sword and Shield will have, 3 more from DLC?
4 technically, because we do have the Mythic. Not to mention potential...
Oh, yeah, Mythic. I wasn't counting the Mythic.
Not to mention potential additions because of Alolan forms. I mean, not Alolan, Galar forms.
Yeah, those are counted separate, actually. That's 12, I think, for Sword and Shield. We know it's plus... no. It's 7 new Pokemon, actually.
Potential, because if they do something like an evolution that causes a new form, then it'll count as a new entry. If it's just a new region-specific form, then it won't.
Yeah,
because Meowth is still the same regardless of what region.
Yeah, and it's actually 7 new Pokemon because we forgot the 2 Reggies. Yeah, we're getting 2 new Reggies. And we're getting at least 3 Alolan forms because we're getting the 3 birds.
Because I goofed that up too.
Yeah, the 3 Galar birds.
But those are just going to be different forms, not necessarily different Pokemon altogether.
Yeah, and then however Slowpoke's going to turn out, because it's going to have a split evolution per version?
That's going to be the question.
Yeah. Whether that's new Pokemon or new variant.
Because if it's just new variant, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. Wait and see on that. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else really.
Like I said, I have a funny feeling it's going to come down to we're going to have to decide on a show-to-show basis how we're going about it.
Yeah. Which means I should do the notes a day early.
Because worst case, if it comes down to the point where we're only talking about releases, then that can just be tied in with something else.
Yeah.
I hope it don't get to that, but yeah, it could.
Ghost is fun tomorrow. I hope you're ready for a weird batch of episodes.
Nope.
Because it's like we get a single standalone episode to introduce the concept of Mugen, more or less, but not give us the suit. It gives us the silhouette of the suit because I guess it wasn't ready. Which you can apparently chalk it up to Amazon's budget taking some of Ghost's budget. Supposedly, I don't know for certain. And then you have a two-parter to properly introduce Mugen, and also introduce the fact that Alan is extremely underpowered right now because he doesn't have a form change, more or less. And then we get half of a two-parter that starts his ascension in power, which is, hey, here's Spectre's weapon recolored in your colors. Because you went and trained with those 3 suits from a long time ago with Sanzo. Like the one of the 2 times you used Sanzo. And that's kinda it. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Alright, we'll keep chipping away at Ace Attorney. We're wrapping up Case 3 Wednesday, because we just have the last trial segment. And maybe Case 4 in its entirety. I don't remember how long Case 4 is. Case 5 is long, so I will not start it this week. Because Case 5...
yeah. I remember right, that one is kind of lengthy.
Yeah, Case 5 for the third game is not just the final game for the third one, is the final game is the final case for the trilogy. It is literally the end of the trilogy, so it is a big case that I think goes more or less into overtime to get done.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Because I know it starts you off weirdly, because I think you go more or less an entire segment with no court case, and then a case, and you start it not as Phoenix. You technically start the case as Miles in court. So yeah, Case 5 will be definitely next week. We'll wrap up 3 and 4 because 4 should not be too long. It's more or less a break episode. Thursday, I probably will do some Breath of the Wild shrine hunting. Just trying to wrap up some shrines and shrine quests because I want to do all those. I still haven't done it. And if I get bored, I'll swap over to Odyssey and do some moon hunting on that. Because I still haven't gotten all the moons in Odyssey.
I don't think I have either, actually.
I'm not going to get all 999.
No,
but I will do all... That requires you to grind. Like, legitimately grind. Because there's not 990 moons in the game.
But it's fun to grind.
No. Not for me.
No, not for anyone.
But I will get the 660, which is all the mission moons. So yeah, those two probably for a couple weeks or so. Friday.
I think Wind Waker only has a couple of weeks. Because we'll probably finish Wind Temple this week. Probably get a good little chunk of at least the charts for you.
Yeah.
Because seeing as how I was picking them up while you were catching up, I don't think it's going to be that hard.
Probably.
That'll probably put the next stream finishing it, because at that point, if we get all the charts next one too, then that'll just be sailing, getting the shards, and going to Ganon's Tower at that point. So maybe 3 at the most, but probably 2.
And then Saturday is something.
I don't even know yet.
And then we're back around to, I want to say, the Ichigo movie next week.
I think you're right.
Hell yeah, we take a break on a 2-parter to go watch a movie. Fuck the show and its dumb scheduling.
I think Saturday is probably either going to be more Sword and Shield raids or more Fortnite. I think it's going to be one of the two. The bigger question is going to be what? And that might just be I figure out which one I'm more in the mood for that day.
Yeah. Now we take a break to go watch Ichigo for a week.
I thought so.
And then we come back to pop idol nonsense. I was reminded we're doing 5 episodes at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Why did this show have 50 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, that's the week to look forward to. But until then, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. We really appreciate it. Chip it away at that follower goal at TG Saloon on Twitter. We'll get you updates on when we go live. An exclamation point Discord and chat gives you the Discord link. Drop by and say hi. We have a Dropbox for questions. Please submit questions. We need links on this show. We will literally answer your questions on here.
Also, if questions aren't your thing and you would like to submit gameplay for something called the Voiceless Saloon that will actually start out being another show, you can do that on the Discord too.
So yeah, that'll do it for me, for Tommy. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.